And I am a science teacher at Charles Herbert Flowers High School. I teach biology, and often I am one of the teachers that teaches the science and tech program at Flowers. Now, what to expect? Um, I run a flipped classroom. This means there is very little direct instruction during class. I use video lectures and do practical applications during class and problem based learning. This allows students to actually construct their own understanding of the concepts that I can then later go back and give proper scientific terminology to. This cuts down on some of the let me just memorize it, let me try and find the right answer, and it increases comprehension. Now, one of the other things to expect is that we have a lot of problems that do not have one right answer. You can get it correct multiple different ways depending on which evidence you choose to use and what your reasoning is. I do expect students to have evidence to explain their points that they want to make. We are definitely an evidence driven classroom, and it really does help for them to have this scientific thinking of having to provide evidence in what it is that they are trying to say. Now, taking you through a typical class period. So, in a typical class period, students are going to come into my classroom. They are going to sign in every day. They're going to pick up their warm up sheets, and then they are going to pick up any other papers that we have for the day. We will then go through, and students will complete their warm up. And as they're completing their warm up, I do the key knowledge. The key knowledge is a 1 to 2 sentence mini lecture on the key pieces of information, the core knowledge they need to understand to progress. Once we've gone through our key knowledge, we then will either conduct a lab or students will get a modeling activity where they will actually get models that they can explore and try and figure out what's going on. Or they will be going through and looking at other forms of evidence in order to come up with a working understanding of what's going on for the concept. Now, at that point, I do need to get evidence of their learning. And so I do provide them guided questions about the activity, or we create foldables of the concept, which can then be used as their study guide in their journals. Once they have their understanding recorded, I have them complete their closure questions and write down their homework for the next period. In my classroom, they are seated in groups. We do a lot of collaborative learning. There's a lot of activities where we use the entire classroom and students have to get up and move around. That being said, we do have texts. There are video lectures. However, when students are first initially exposed to the information, I usually do those as homework. Because as soon as you read it or you watch a lecture, it always makes sense. And it's only once you have to actually apply it that students often realize they didn't quite understand. And with the flipped classroom model, it allows students to hit that stumbling block when they're here in front of me in the classroom, and then we move on and I can kind of help them over that stumbling block instead of it happening at home with them getting frustrated on homework. Well, that's kind of my overview of what science and technology biology looks like in my classroom. And I look forward to seeing you